Hello and welcome to Database Management Systems. I'm Javita Christie, and in this video, I'm going to explain to you the PL/SQL if then else if and nested if statements. So let's begin. This is the structure of the if then else if statement. In this structure, the condition between if and then, which is the first condition, is always evaluated. All other conditions between else if and then are evaluated only if the preceding condition is false. For example, if the condition 2 is evaluated, if the condition 2 is evaluated only if the condition 1 is false. Condition 3 is evaluated only if the condition 2 is false, and so on. If a condition is true, then other subsequent conditions are not evaluated. And if no condition is true, then the else statements between the else and end if will execute. In case you skip the else clause and no condition is true, then the if then else if will do nothing. Let's understand all this better with a practical example. In order to demonstrate the use of if and else if, I would like to write a program that is going to record a number of sales, and that is going to record the amount generated in sales, and based on that amount give a certain percentage of commission. So if the sales is greater than 2 lakhs, then I want to give a higher commission, and if it is just between 1 and 2 lakhs, I want to give a little less commission, and if it is even below 1 lakh, then I want to give even less commission. So this is the type of program that I want to create. So let's begin doing that. I'm going to type this code in Notepad, and then I'm going to paste it into the SQL command line. So I'm going to declare those variables, 2 variables, the sales variable with the data type number, and I'm going to assign it the value 3 lakhs for now. And I'm going to also create the commission variable with the data type 10,2, number 10,2, and initially I would just like to make it 0. And now I can write my executable block, the begin block. Here I'm going to mention the sales. So here I'll write different conditions for sales. First condition is where if my sales variable is greater than 2 lakhs. So if I made a sale of more than 2 lakhs, then I'd like to get a commission of 10%. So I'm going to write commission is equal to n underscore sales. This n in front is just to show that it's a number. You can do this or you can remove it, whatever you like. So number of commission, number is n is for the number data type, and so the sales, I'm going to write down star 0.1 because 10% I want to give as a commission. Now comes the else if part. So in PL/SQL, we write down else if in this manner, else if like this, and then number of sales. If these are less than 2 lakhs, but at the same time, now to write and, we do not use the ampersand as most of you might be used to if you have used C language, and we write just the word, simple word and. So and this is greater than 1 lakh. So I want it to be less than 2 lakhs, but greater than 1 lakh. So this is something between 2 lakhs and 1 lakhs. And I'll just move all this code a little bit so that you can see everything on the screen right now. Otherwise, you might not be able to see everything. Okay. So I suppose you can read the 1 lakh that's written right here. I can move a little and you can see it now, right? So that is 1 lakh. Now what I want to do here is else if, and after else if I want to write once again the commission. This time I want to give only a 5% commission. So sales and multiplied by 0.05 because only 5% commission. So that is given. And finally, in my next else if condition, I want to mention that if this is between 1 lakh and 50,000, so I'm going to write the same thing, less than equal to 1 lakh this time and greater than 50,000. Then I forgot to mention it then previously. So everywhere, if you're writing if or else if, you have to mention the keyword then. So if this is the case, then I want to give a commission of 3%. So let me write down here, commission equal to sales times 3%. So this is 0.03. Let me move all this up, then you can see it better. Okay, I suppose this is better. You can see it now. So this is 3%. And now what else do I want to do? If it is none of these values, that means if it is not even between 1 lakh and 50,000, then I just want to straight away make it 2%. So I'm just going to write down as an else part. So this is my last else statement. Here I'm going to write n underscore commission. Sorry, in the else part, I'm just going to mention commission equal to n underscore sales times 0.02. So what this does is gives me only a 2% commission. And then in the end, you will write down end if. So this will end your if statement that is beginning from right here. So from here to here, this is going to end your if statement. And once the if statement is ended, you can then end your begin statement, which is your executable block. So now your executable block is ended. And once you've done all this, you can copy all that. So you need to copy all this and paste it into your SQL plus command line. And for that, of course, I'm going to copy this. So select everything, right click, copy. And then I'm going to open my command line. And remember, this is my first program in my command line after opening it. So I'm going to write down set server output on. And so should you if this is your first program too after opening your command line. This will make sure that everything we want printed is printed. Although in this case, we haven't printed anything. So let me go ahead and also print this part. I want this commission variable to be printed in the end. So after the end if, I'm going to write down this small line that will print the commission. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, and I can print straight away the commission variable. And so this is my code, and I can copy it. And since I've already written here set server output on, I can clear the screen. I don't require this. And right click, edit, and paste. So you can see my entire code is pasted. It doesn't look very nice, of course, because whenever you paste from Notepad, the indentation will not be pasted. Now, hit enter and /. This / will make sure that your code runs. And you can see it results to 30,000. The reason why it shows 30,000 is because my value was 3 lakh. So because it is 3 lakhs here, the code shows 30,000 since the first part of the if statement got executed and it gave me a 10% commission. That is why. I entirely leave it up to you to try out different values of sales and check if all your if statement blocks are running or not. You can nest an if statement within another if statement in the following manner. Let me show you how we can do that with a PLSQL program. To demonstrate the use of nested if, I would like to show you a program of finding the maximum number out of 3 given numbers. And through nested if, I'm also going to show you how to take values from the user while running the program. So this time, you won't have to make changes in Notepad and then paste it into PLSQL every time. We will create the program in Notepad and then we will paste it in PLSQL and run it several times with different values of the variables. So let's start. First, I'm going to declare the variables. So declare, and I'm going to simply mention 3 variables A, B, and C. So A is equal to, and here, after mentioning the data type, I'm going to write down ampersand A. So if you recall, this is just like doing the insert statement, but insert statement without writing the actual values. When you want to run the same insert statement several times, then this is how you were doing. You were writing ampersand and then the name of the column. In this case, it is ampersand and then the name of the variable. So you can, of course, change this and mention whatever you like. And now I'm going to write another one in the same manner, B equal to ampersand B, and then the third one, C number equal to ampersand C, and then D number equal to ampersand D. Sorry, I'll only go up to 3 numbers. I said I'll tell you largest out of 3. So, okay, once this is done, now you can go to begin. And in the begin block, first I'm going to compare A and B. So if A is greater than B, then I'm going to check if A is also greater than C. So that's why I'm writing it here. You can see now what's happening here. It is a nested if. The first if statement is outside, and inside that, before ending this, I've written another if statement inside. So this is an example of a nested if statement. And let's now go ahead and print something. So I just want to print here dbms output dot put underscore line. I will just adjust my spacing here so that a lot of my screen is not taken away by me, and you can see the code that is still written here. And it doesn't even compromise the readability of my code. All right, so now I suppose all the code is very clear to you. Now what I'm going to do is, in the put line, I'm going to mention that A is the largest number. If you wish, you can change this. Instead of writing A, if you wish to actually write the value of A, then you can mention A and then use the concatenation operator and mention a single quote here and single quote here. So this will print the value of A and then concatenate is largest after it. I'll go ahead and reduce the size of my font a bit for you to be able to see what I'm typing. Okay, that works fine. So once this is done, now this makes sure that the value of A is largest, but what about if this statement right on top here is false? So if this statement is false, then that means A is already greater than B, but A is not greater than C, which means C must be greater than A. And so in the else part, I'm going to type out dbms output dot put underscore line. I'm going to type in this case that C is largest, and this is about the case where A was greater than B. There would be another case where A is not greater than B, in which case I'm going to mention an else part of this given if statement that I've written here. So let me move ahead to the next line, and I'm going to write the else part of my if statement. So else, I'm going to mention here, in this case, what happens is B is greater than A. So now I just need to check if B is also greater than C. And once again, you can do all this in one if statement by writing and condition, obviously. But I'm doing it in this manner because I want to demonstrate the use of nested if. So I can mention here, if we already know that B is greater than A, only then it is going to enter in this position of my code. And here I'm going to write down if B is already greater than A, then I just need to check if it is also greater than C. And if it is, then I just need to print that B is the largest number. So I'm going to print that B is the largest number. And that's what it prints here. Now next I'm going to do the other part of this statement. So if B is not greater than C, then that means we already know that B is greater than A, but B is not greater than C, so that means C must be greater than B, in which case C would be the largest number. So I'll mention that here in the else part. So dbms output put line and C is largest. And I have inserted a semicolon there. You just can't see it unless I move my laptop a bit. You can see it now, I suppose. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, in the end of all this, I'm going to end the if statement that I've written. So remember that I've written 3 if statements and I have to end all 3. So the first one that you need to end will end right here in this position. And if the second if statement is present inside the outer if statement once again, so it has to be ended here, and if. And finally, the outermost if statement will end here. And once everything is ended, I'll end the executable block with a /. And now let's run this code. So to run this code, I'm going to copy all this, go to my command line, clear the screen if you haven't, and go ahead and right click and paste. And you can see this time the code is actually pasted very, very nicely. This is my entire code right here. Okay, you can see the code pasted, and I'm going to hit enter. And this time it's going to ask me for a value. So I'm getting asked the values. So let me enter A as 7. And for B, I'm going to enter 5. And for C, I'm going to enter 3. And you can see it prints that 7 is largest value out of 7, 5, and 3, which I inserted. If you want to run the same procedure again with different values of ABC, you can again hit / and hit enter. And again, it will ask you for the values of A, B, and C. This time, let me enter 5 for A, 6 for B, and 1 for C. And you can see that it prints that 6 is the largest value. And you can go ahead and experiment with this code and try to enter other values for A, B, and C to check if all the things are working properly or not. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching.